Because with college football, you never really know until the end. I mean, we all knew Alabama would be really good, but I actually picked Clemson to win, if I'm not mistaken. So, or did I pick Clemson? I think I picked Clemson to win, if I'm not mistaken. So I just like the way they play. I like the way they played all year. Then I'll probably go with Cleveland coming back, even though 3-1 seemed like a lot when Draymond Green got suspended for Game 5. I kind of had that feeling that was a wrap then. So the two that probably surprised me the most, exciting most, was as good as I thought Villanova was. They played it, I thought was just outstanding. So that would be one. And then no one could have predicted a 19-point comeback in the fourth quarter. So I think that would be the most surprising of the year for me.
Yeah. For me, my biggest comeback of the year was, well, there's two. It's tied because it's basketball, Cleveland coming back. I literally thought that they were just not going to make it, being how they were playing, the way the Warriors were playing, and that was, I have to say, hands down, one of the things I had to have a double take on. So to see, and they did great. They came back and won the thing, and that was something I don't think we'll get to see anytime soon. And also the World Series, the Cubs were great. They're awesome, and they played amazing all season long. And I was down to the nail, to the wire at the end, and thinking, are they really going to pull this off? So when seeing them win and being how close of a game that was, that was a surprise for me. So that's my two big surprises for 2016. So I was surprised, about the Alabama, how that turned out. That was another game. I was just like beyond myself. So I didn't expect that game to go the way it did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's this old saying: you have to start believing me. Comes to these picks.
Seriously, I'm at the beginning of each season for whatever sport it is. I'm gonna have you give me your picks. With those picks, I'll go to Vegas when the playoffs start or the championship games, and then I'm gonna go bet that those teams are gonna win. So I'm gonna hold my earnings on you, hoping that you'll be right for the 2017 season. So
no problem.
Don't fail me.
No problem. Got this. Like I said, when the season starts, I'm not always right on. When I watch a team play, that's when I start getting getting the feeling for what they can do. So, Like I said, hey, believe me now, trust me later.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think. Have I ever been surprised of any of your picks and then coming for that game to win? I don't think I have. I'll be more surprised when you pick a team and they lose. So that's not yet to happen. So we'll see.
I'm not going to pick the Cleveland Browns anytime soon. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know who probably will. And
hey, let me get into
people.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one quick question. I know it's kind of off topic, but real quick. And you may have to beat this out. How the hell did T.O. not get in the Hall of Fame?
Who?
Terrell Owens. How the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame? How the hell did they turn him down again? That's just stupidity at its best.
Okay, one thing about the Hall of Fame, be it football, be it baseball, whatever it is, there's those players, those athletes that you'll think, oh, no doubt about it, they'll get in. And then come to the time after when you hear the news of who's made it in, those athletes that you think are obvious are off. They're off, and they didn't make the class. And I'm sitting there scratching my head and being, how many times is it going to take for them to get in? So sometimes I have a way of I think, how is it that they go about voting these athletes in? Do they go by, do they truly go by what's on paper, or is it more?
It's more. This is they don't like T.O. because there's no way you can tell me his stats don't get him in. This is a truly we just don't like T.O. And
yeah,
so
I love T.O. I would think that he would be in there with Kurt Warner. So, and all these other amazing players, and he's still off the bat. He has amazing stats, but I honestly don't know what they're thinking.
They put a kicker in, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, all right, sorry. I'll let you get back on task. I just had to ask that.
So, no, yeah, I'm there with you. So, probably what we should do is throw a party when that happens. Throw a big party. So I'll be excited when I get to see that.
I hear you.
And talking about future and expectations, one thing I want to touch on real briefly, Cowboys, and seeing how Dak Prescott played the season that he had. And you probably know where I'm going with this. Where is Tony's future like with all of this?
Romo can do one or two things.
One thing, will he continue? Two things I want to ask, or one thing. Will he continue playing? Will he go to the Texans, or stay in Texas? Go with some other team, or will he decide to retire? Is it the end? Is it all we have seen for Tony Romo? Is that all he has? Can he come back? Will we see more? What's next for Tony Romo?
Tony Romo has two choices, or three technically. The Cowboys can trade him. They love him as a person. Jerry Jones can say, look, we're going to trade you, but then they got to find a team that wants to take on a contract that's going to count $23 million or something in that ballpark against their cap. It's going to be very hard for a 30-some-year-old quarterback, upper 30-some-year-old quarterback, who gets injured an awful lot. That's a lot to commit salary cap-wise. That's one. Two, they can release him. And if they release him and he says, hey, look, if you could release me, that'd be great, and that way he could go and play wherever he wants to play, obviously he'll have to take a big pay cut. Or he could say, you know what, I'm on a really good team. I've done a lot with this team. This team couldn't eat me down the line. Let me get my money and stay a backup on this team in case that goes down. And then, like you said, retire. If I'm him, and it's easy for me to say, but I get that $27 million, I swallow a little bit of pride, and if that comes in, I'm ready to go in a team that I'm familiar with. But we shall see.
Yeah, because for me, to be honest, like you said, injuries. I have never seen a quarterback get injured as much as he has. And recently, how many injuries has he had in the past, 3 seasons, 5 seasons?
Yeah.
How many games has it cost the Cowboys? Or even, I could probably even say this, the playoffs as well. So is Tony Romo's NFL career technically over? And how much is he really worth in the end, if he does decide to stay?
I mean, he can play. I mean, it's not like he can't play. Tony Romo knows how to play. So I'm not hating
doubt about that. I'm not no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm hating on him. But I would say, first off, he's not going to Houston. Houston signed Brock Osweiler, who's absolutely god-awful terrible. But they're paying him a whole lot of money. So you cannot eat up almost $50 million on 2 quarterbacks. You can't sign anybody else. So I seriously doubt that he's going to Houston unless he gets released by the Cowboys and then he negotiates something that's dramatically lower than what he's making now. So we'll see. Like I said, I think the smart move for him, especially with his condition, stay in Dallas. You're going to get paid. And every team has to have a good backup. No matter how good Brady was, the reason that they had such a good record was because they went 3-1 while he was out.
Oh, yeah. Brady's backup was amazing. When I saw what he had, I was like, my gosh, He
Yeah,
is
he played well.
good. Yeah.
And just think, he only played 2 games, really. The young kid, Bristol, whatever his name is, he came in and he won a game. So you just got to stay ready, and you never know, and you don't get rid of a good quarterback unless you just have to. So I would say you'll see Tony Romo next year. If he's smart, he'll be in Dallas. If not, I don't think he's going to go to Denver. I don't think he's going to go to the Cardinals. Seattle doesn't need a quarterback. Atlanta, all the teams that are a step away, they don't need a quarterback, with the exception of Houston, and they can afford him. So I think he stays in Dallas, to be honest with you.
You know, probably somebody that can benefit from him.
Yeah.
Probably the Browns.
Yeah, but he's not going to go to a team that won 1 game or 2 games.
Well, of course, I'm saying, you know, in an ideal, perfect world, you know, that would be a team that would benefit, but we know reality, that's not going to happen.
Look, the Browns would benefit if I played quarterback. That's how bad they are. And I can't even sling the rock anymore. They benefit from me, which is bad.
Yeah. Oh, geez. And a bit more madness of sports. And going into your forte is, and just around the corner, NCAA March Madness. So this is the time of the season where I get super excited because there's baseball, there's basketball, not only NBA, but college. So with that madness going on and basketball galore, who are your teams to look out for going into the madness of the season?
Okay. Let me say this first. This is probably the toughest, most competitive. There's no team that just stands out. It's not like years before where you just knew, like, Kentucky had the best team and then Duke and then shot. This year, I mean, Gonzaga hasn't lost. Villanova's coming off a title. They got so many good players back. They've only lost a couple of games. Kansas is good. Louisville is playing their butts off right now. Oregon with the Brooks kid, they're no joke. UCLA with the Ball kid, they're no joke. You got 3 Pac-12 teams in the top 10. It's crazy when you look at a North Carolina, at a Duke, and they're almost on the outside looking in when you know that they're really good. It's tough when you have a Kentucky that's ranked 15, but you know that's not a team you really want to see. I mean, legitimately, Kentucky could be a 3 seed, which is outlandish considering how much talent they have. And Duke could be a 3 seed, which is ridiculous when you consider how much talent they have. This might be the toughest question you ever asked me, but if I just had to pick, I'll go based off, I think Villanova will be a 1 seed. If the season ended right now, Villanova would be a 1 seed in the East. Kansas should be a 2 seed in the Midwest. Louisville should be a 1 seed. I'm sorry. Villanova should be a 1 seed in the East. Kansas should be a 1 seed in the Midwest. Louisville is South. And if Gonzaga wins out, they would be the West, although I think Oregon stands a better shot. So I'm going to do the easy way out and say I'll go with all 1 seeds as of today. Villanova, Kansas, Louisville, and Oregon. And then we'll kind of see how things shake down. I really have no confidence in Baylor, to be honest with you, even though they're a really good team. Something about them in a tournament, they're just Baylor when the tournament starts. There's no other way to put it. I got to see more. I mean, hell, even Florida State's playing well. It's wide open, but I'll just say Villanova, Kansas, Louisville, Oregon as of today. There we go.
Okay, wow. Yeah, no doubt about that. looking